Hello, good morning, and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskeys, and this one is Inver House Green Plaid, introduced in 1961, and it's aged 3 years, and it is bottled in Illinois by the Barton Imports, part of the Sazerac Company. It says imported by and bottled for Barton Imports, Chicago, Illinois. You know what? Think about what that says. It doesn't say that Barton is, it says the Barton headquarters is in Chicago, Illinois. It says bottled for them. Okay. I just got off the phone with Sazerac. Now I'm going to update these notes. I'm sure nobody cares, but I'm going to update them anyway. Bottled in America. I'm going to change that to bottled in America by Barton Imports. And I'll tell you why I'm going to do that. I was talking to the man on the phone. I had a question about something else, which is not Scotch. And I was like, well, they bottle this in Louisville. La, 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 la. He said, well, actually, I can only go by what people tell me, right? He says, actually, we don't have a bottling plant in Louisville. He said, we have lawyers who have offices in Louisville. He said, our bottling plant is in Glenmore, at Glenmore Distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky. And there's a small bottling plant, he said, at Barton 1792 Distillery, which is now going to stop giving tours, which I hated to hear that. And at Buffalo Trace, a big one, a big bottling plant, which does give tours still and will continue to, he said. I said, why are they going to stop giving tours at Barton? He said, his problems. They had, from what I could figure out, they didn't know what they were doing, and it was causing trouble. I guess maybe customers were complaining or something. I thought the tour was great when I took it 5 years ago, but that was 5 years ago, and there's some problems developed, and they're not going to give tours anymore there. Or it might have been where they didn't have anybody taking the tour. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was taking the tours because they're not on the Bourbon Trail. Because the Bourbon Trail, you have to charge admission, and Sazerac always said they would never charge admission for tours. And so it's not on the Bourbon Trail, so a lot of people may not know about it. And my thinking is that it probably didn't have anybody there going there. Because when I went on the tour, it was me and one other guy on the tour. It was like 10:30 in the morning. It's not like, real early. And like when I went to the 10:30 tour in Houston, Texas for Anheuser-Busch, I was the only person on the tour. In a huge city like Houston, I mean, of all places, one of the biggest cities in the United States, and they had one person on the tour for Anheuser-Busch, the biggest brewing company in the United States. I'm sure Anheuser-Busch was like, what are we doing tours for? Nobody shows up. I mean, it was in a bad location for tours because in an industrial part of the city where no tourists go, except for me. And it was probably just a waste of their time and money. But it was a fabulous tour. The best beer tour I ever went on in my life was Anheuser-Busch in Houston, Texas, 2015. Awesome tour. Still got videos posted on Facebook, YouTube. But if you're going to give tours, you got to have people showing up. You go to Sazerac House in New Orleans, packed with people. But, Canal Street, New Orleans, what do you think? If you go to Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis, packed with people. But it's well known. Everybody knows Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. If you go to Buffalo Trace, packed with people. Same thing, Buffalo Trace. They're not on the Bourbon Trail, but everybody knows about Buffalo Trace, a huge place. Okay? So anyway, I called the people about, you want to hear about this? I called the people about this El Toro tequila, all right? About 2 years ago, actually a year and a half ago, I bought this El Toro Tequila Silver. Made in Mexico, NAM 1143. NAM 1143 is Gonzalez and Gonzalez Distillery, also known as Maestri Distillery in Jalisco, Mexico. Okay. This brand of tequila was introduced in 1959. It's inexpensive. You know, it was $8.99 for a whole liter. So a good deal. All right. And I bought the gold the same day, silver and gold. You know, actually, I think I paid $6.99 for this because I paid $8.99 for the Tijuana. I couldn't think of the name. Tijuana, the Tijuana tequila. Okay. So I liked it. You know, it was fine. Nothing fabulous, but it was very nice. So then today I was at a local store, Mathern's Market, and I see El Toro Silver. They still had a lot of bottles left. $4.99 now. $4.99 for a liter. That's craziness, right? $4.99 for the liter. But I noticed some differences on the bottle. It doesn't say import, it said premium. They no longer show a NOM, NOM 1143. That's the origin, the number origin Mexico. Each distillery has a number, a code number. And now it's El Toro Silver here instead of El Toro Tequila Silver. You know, the label's a little different. Still shows the same 1959 painting. You know, these old Mexican felt paintings that people buy of the bullfighter in the bull. Okay, that hadn't changed. You look at old ads from 1959, same painting. But this one says tequila with natural flavors, 40% alcohol. And there's no label on the back. So I said, man, was this thing just a tequila made in Kentucky? I don't get it. You know, I don't understand. But I thought tequila had to be from Mexico, like cognac has to be from France and so forth. So I called, and the guy was like, very helpful, extremely helpful. Sazerac's always helpful, okay? So he's like, oh no, it's tequila. It has to legally be from Mexico. It can only be from a certain section of Mexico too, not anywhere in Mexico. It has to be from that part of Mexico. You can get mezcal from any part of Mexico. Well, actually, any official part that allows mezcal. So, hey, Jeep and Foodie, Caleb checking in, round 2, yes. So, he said, yeah, it has to be from Mexico if it says tequila is no option. I said, good. He said, they don't have to put imported on the bottle. That you can or you don't have to, you know. I said, oh, because it's like a redundancy. If it says tequila, it's clearly imported. Like if it says cognac, it has to be imported and it has to be from France. He said, right, or bourbon has to be from the United States, so forth. I said, right. And he said, the NOM, you can put it or you don't have to put it. It's up to you. Now, if it's sold in Mexico, yeah, it has to have the NOM. But if it's in the United States, you can put it, but it's not a requirement. I said, oh, okay. That cleared up something for me. I said, what about this thing about the natural flavoring? Because the old bottle did not say natural flavoring. He said, yeah, okay, I'll tell you about that. He said, we started doing that about 5 years ago at Sazerac, natural flavoring in a lot of their liquor. He said, it's a secret blend, so they won't even tell me. He said, I'm the guy that answers the questions. And he said, the company won't even tell me what it is. A secret concoction of natural flavors, obviously changed for different products. He said, but I've tasted the Canadian whiskeys, and he said, to me, it tastes like they're adding vanilla to it, but I can't say because I don't know. He said, but that's my suspicion. But, you know, he said, so the reason they do that is to smooth it out. Like it might be a little harsh. And they decided to add the natural flavors to smooth it out. Okay. And he told me a bunch of other stuff too, and it was very interesting. All right, so that's the story on that. Now, Inver House, introduced, like I said, 1961, been on the market for 62 years. I got this big liter bottle for $11.99. True story, $11.99, huh? Craziness. Cream colored caps, not white, it's cream colored. Same label since 1961. You can look up old advertisements for Inver House. Same label, never changed it. Is it popular? No. Does it sell? You know what I mean? Do they come to stores sell it? Some stores sell it. It moves. It's got a little minuscule following, enough to keep it in stock. You know what I mean? But it's not like people running to go get Inver House. Kind of like Sir Malcolm. You'll see Sir Malcolm around, and there's no fanfare. It's just a brand of Scotch been on the market since 1967, and that's it. People buy it or they don't buy it. It's not like Johnny Walker Red, where it's the most popular Scotch in the world. Now you might say, well, don't they have a lot of Scotch whiskeys like that? They're on the shelf. No one talks about it. It gets no attention, but it moves. A few people buy it every month, like Lauders, which I've never tried, but I see it. Or what's that other one that I do see a lot? Oh yeah, Highland Mist. Or there's another one I see everywhere that I never tried. House of Stewart Scott. Old brands that's been around since the 1800s in many cases. I think Lauder's been around since the 1700s. But they're just on the shelf. The distiller been out of business for 100 years. They got bought out by somebody. They just own the rights to the brand and the recipe, which they could probably change according to their fiat because they own the rights. But you see what I'm saying? There are so many Scotch whiskey brands on the market that aren't what we would call famous or popular, like VAT 69. In the United States, nobody drinks VAT 69. I mean, some people do. It's on the shelf. VAT 69 Gold. But apparently in Africa is one of the top brands in Africa, and there's all kind of VAT 69s in Africa. Like a black label, a gold label, a white label, an extra age. And I was looking at some of the African websites, and it was like, wow. And this was from the actual company, Diageo, East Africa, and all that. So it just depends where you go. Inver House exists. Yeah, it exists, as by evidence of it being in my hand. You see. Dewar's. Well, okay, now that is a popular product that you see everywhere. What's the most popular Dewar's? The white label, obviously. And then you can get the 12-year and the 15-year and the 18-year and the 19-year and the 25-year and the single malt, all kind of Dewar's, So it's all about how much you want to pay. I didn't pay that much, actually. When you take all these little bottles and multiply them times 15, what I paid, you'll notice I paid like $37. I think it was $37.39 for a full-size bottle. Now, if you go to Total Wine and More, you can get that full-size bottle for $39.99. So I got it actually over $2 cheaper, which I was very pleased with. Inver House, yeah, you might find it for $11.99 somewhere. But let's look at it like this. You might find it somewhere. Chances are you won't find it anywhere. I've never seen it in this parish. No. I've seen it at Total Wine in the big handle bottles with the green plastic glass. You heard that? Plastic glass. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it at Dorgnac's in this clear bottle, liter bottle. And that's the only place I've ever seen it in my life. But where there's some, there's more. That it's around, but it's just whether you're going to see it or not. Okay, they're both gold, but is this the Inver House? Yeah, the Inver House is lighter. So it's a light gold, straw almost. Makes sense because it's only aged 3 years. The Dewar's 15-year age is darker. So it's a 3-year age. I think I said 15. 3-year age and a 15-year age. And Dewar's is double age. You say, well, how can it be double age? That means 30 years. 15 times 2 is 30. Yeah, but that's not what they do. Actually, if you read, it's like, how How did they describe it? I don't remember which one. It was like they take the grain whiskey and age it 6 years. That's what it was. And they take the single malts and age those 6 years. So you got 6 years and 6 years. No, I'm going to take that back. It was 12 years and 12 years. So they aged the single malts from various distilleries for 12 years, and they aged these for 12 years. Then they blend them together, and they age them together for another 3 years. So that adds to 15. Yeah, that's what it was. And so they let them marry together for 3 more years to give it more betterness. All right. Let's see. Not much aroma here, kind of flat in the nose. Just think of distilled cereal grains, like I said before, old people cereal. You know, the cereal for the older people that's up on the top shelf, like Grape Nuts and Special K, that kind of smell. And some oak wood and maybe some honey, but that's it. It's just kind of basic. Now to take, I can't read without my glasses if I'm far away. Now, if I'm close, I can't read with my glasses because I don't need glasses to read. But out local grocery store. Oh, you meant to write. Our local grocery store has Inver House handles for around $18. Yeah, I think Total Wine got it for $15.99. Isn't that wild? And Winn-Dixie got their rum for $12.99 right now. I'd buy it, really, but I got too much rum as it is. Otherwise, I'd buy it. Did I need this? El Toro liter bottle for $4.99 when I got an almost completely full El Toro bottle that I paid $6.99 for? I was thinking it was $8.99, but I remember now it was $6.99. Or was it $7.99? Well, I mean, it was some kind of ridiculously low price. I know it wasn't more. It for sure wasn't more than $8.99. But I know I bought that Tijuana tequila for $8.99 at Discount Depot. I bought this one at Savannah Discount. No, I did not need it. So why did I buy it? Oh, because I wanted to see how the one with natural flavors added stacked up against the one that doesn't say natural flavors added. You say that's such a minor thing. Well, like why would you worry about that? Certainly wasn't worried about it. But for $4.99, what have I lost? I mean, you lose nothing. So there's no downside. There's like a totally a win-win situation. There's no downside whatsoever. Cannot be a downside for that price. It's like you're at the casino, you're playing with house money. Can't lose. This one smells a little sweeter, a little more developed, a little more woody. So a little more like a nougat, like you get with the Three Musketeers bar or the Charleston Chew. So I'm thinking it must be the Dewars. Oh, bazam. John and Nilly's in the house. Hey, Jay, just joining. Hey, John. Thanks. I'm about to taste it now. So you didn't miss anything except me talking about all the questions Sazerac answered in my long phone call with them, which was a great phone call. I got so much information that I wasn't aware of. I was like, wow. I kept saying, wow, I can't believe it. Serious? Really? What? I was like, what? Taste. Cheers, everybody. Very nice tasting product. Honey, wood, grains, bread dough, which come from the single malts. Smooth body, a wood aftertaste, no peat, no smoke. These are not peat or no smoke whiskeys. So if you say, oh yeah, I love Scotch whiskey, I love that peat and smoke, forget that. You won't encounter that here. Nikki says, can you review on Crown Royal and Crown Royal? Crown Royal and Crown Royal together? Well, it's the same product. I'm not understanding what you're talking about. The Whiskey Scout says, lots of Inver House in Kansas. Oh, the older glass bottles are hard to find anymore. You talking about the liter bottles like this or the old glass handle bottles? I know they got those plastic, I call them diamond shoulder Sazerac cheapo bottles that you see with like Canadian Canadian Lake whiskey, which I've never purchased, but I would theoretically buy. I think she is referring to Crown Royal with RC Cola. Oh yeah, no, I don't mess with that. But I mean, it's a good idea. Some content producers would do that. I think. The Whiskey Scout says liter. Oh, see, the liter bottles are rare, huh? The glass liter bottles. Yeah, come to think of it, Total Wine and More does not sell these. Only the plastic handles. Oh boy. All right, let's taste over here. Oh. It's got so much more flavor. There's so much more developed. Intense wood, not harsh. Notice I didn't say harsh. Intense wood, honey, honeysuckle nectar, lots of oak, deep oak, almost. Oh ho 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 ho. Is Dewar's aging this 15-year age, the Monarch in sherry barrels? Am I tasting sherry? Oh, and it's distilled under a royal warrant. See, it's got a designation. It is an official whiskey to the royal family of Scotland and Wales and Australia and Gibraltar and the British territories on Cyprus Island and the British Virgin Islands and Belize, and the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands and the Falkland Islands and the British Indian Ocean Territory, et cetera, et cetera. All right. I'll say this about Inver House. It's kind of bland, but Dewar's 15-year age draws flavor out of it. And I've said this before, and I'll stick with it. I believe it. A lot of times when you do one whiskey against another, the other one will draw things out of it that you never had experienced before. What I recommend Inver House, I would recommend it with the consideration that you're only paying $11.99 for a liter or like $16.99 for a handle. That would be a better option. And you got to keep in mind that you're not going to be getting like super deluxe product. I mean, it's only aged 3 years. It's basic. It's a base model. Don't go buy a base model Hyundai Elantra and say, this doesn't have all the fancy stuff on it. Well, why did you think it would? You didn't look at the website. You didn't buy. You could have bought the XL model. With all. You said, but that was $900. That was $6,000 more. Yeah, because it was a deluxe model. Get it? Okay, but I mean, most people have enough sense to figure that out. Big Boy Caprice says, I love your review channel, Miss Paterio. Oh, thank you. Dewar's is not good. It is good. Hey, Johnny boy. Y'all know what I ate for breakfast this morning? 6 fish sticks on a slice of bunny bread, baked in the oven, and then capped off with 3 or 4 minutes of broiling. And of course, I had some Zatarain's horseradish sauce mixed with ketchup, and I made cocktail sauce, and I put black pepper on the fish sticks and dipped them in cocktail sauce, and it was very good. It was very nutritious. Terrio, is that French? Well, maybe. I think a lot of French names are actually Italian, but when France took over some areas of Italy, they Frankified the names. You see what I mean? There's two regions of Italy. Well, there's three regions. Corsica Island, which was owned by Genoa, was taken by France in 1768. That's why Napoleon changed his name to a French spelling. He was really not French. And then his name was an Italian spelling. Then France took over Savoy, the region of Savoy, and Nice. It looks like Nice. Nice. Oh, that's nice, but they pronounce it Nice. In 1859. And a lot of those people had Italian names. And a lot of times when it ends in an O, like Orlando, Pizzolotto, and things like that, but they'll start spelling it French. So I'm not too sure about that, but that's what people will say, that it's a French name. Isn't Dewar's what the Kennedy family always drank? It could be so. Yeah, it is interesting, yes. And a lot of the French is German because of Alsace and Lorraine, which sometimes is part of France, but sometimes is part of Germany. Okay. The Dewar's is fine, all right? It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. It's a good value. If you say, look, this economy is terrible, the price is going up every time I blink my eyes, I really need to save money, and I want a Scotch that's not going to make me gag, but it's inexpensive. Let's call it value price. Popular price, some companies call that popular price. Well, Inver House would be a good way to go. But you remember, you got to look at that within a certain intelligent context. Now, you might say, well, no, I had worked extra hours this month, and my check was a little bigger, and I can afford $40 for a Scotch. And I would like to say, is Dewar's worth the $39.99 plus tax? It is worth it. And you will notice a lot of enhancement. If you compare this to the 3-year age, the Dewar's white label, you're going to say, oh, yeah, it's a big step up. It is a big step up, and you're going to pay up. This is how this works. This is not a mystery. Okay. Nikki says, good idea. Sad to hear about Scoggett. He was a great guy. Scoggett? What's wrong with Scoggett? All right. Okay. Talk about over there in Texas. Okay. Yeah, I watch his videos all the time. When they're applicable. It's a beer I've had. Anyway, so Inver House does fine, but it can't compete. No, I don't say so. Now the question. Let's say Inver House is $10 for a regular bottle. That'd be a good guess. 10 times 4 is 40. Is the Dewar's really 4 times better? You heard he passed away. I didn't hear anything like that. But I'm not saying you're wrong, but I never hear any such thing. I would have heard that, I think. I'm going to verify that before I make any comment. 4 times better. Yeah, I'm not believing that it's 4 times better. It's better. Yeah, I got it right. I'm pretty sure I wasn't going to miss that one. But I don't know. It's your call. I mean, if you think it's 4 times better, buy it. But I'm not too sure about that. I mean, 4 times, that's a lot. $10 versus $40. That's a big jump. So the Whiskey Scout says, yes, Dewar's 15 years is 4 times better. Wake up and smell the Scotch. See, I always use that excuse. Well, I'm new to the game. You see, so anyway, now we got one more Dewar's 15-year age coming up. The next one we're going to do is Dewar's 15-year age versus King Robert II. Skippy Curtis. Hey, hello to you. We got this Dewar's 15-year age. I got a bottle and a half left. That'll be well enough, well, more than enough. Y'all want to know what's coming up next? If you want to know, tell me now, or just wait till it gets posted. So I'm going to count down to 0. If you want to see what it's going to go battle up against next go around, let me know. If not, we'll just check it out when it happens. Skaga was a great guy. They said he was a policeman in Texas. See, I'm working under the assumption that he is a great guy, you know, not that he passed away. I mean, people say all kind of stuff on the internet. What's next, Ron? Craft Beer Tastic says. Okay. And remember, this is coming down the road, but this was a fascinating little pickup here today. You're looking at me like, you don't need that? I know. All right. Let's hope it's a rumor. That's right. Yeah. And let's hope it's an incorrect rumor. King Robert II blended Scotch whiskey. Yeah, baby. There are dozens of people around the world that love this Scotch. Literally dozens of people. And I bought this in the presence of John and Nille at World of Beverage in Georgia for the price of $17.99 for a glass bottle, handle bottle of King Robert II, introduced at some point in history, acquired by Ian McLeod Company in 1968. There is a travel exclusive, which you'll never find, probably. And there is a 12-year age, which you'll probably never find. And there's the black 3-year age. Oh, wait, no age statement that you could theoretically find. And I have seen it around. Not really more than like twice. I much more commonly see John Barr, another kind of off the rails product. Oh, Skaga joined the police department when he was rejected by the Navy. Okay, now you see what I mean about the rumors and the foolishness on the internet. I was rejected by the Navy and the Coast Guard. Why is that? Medical reasons. Great value, says John and Illy. It was a great value, and I'm so glad I bought it. And I still have 40% left. Do you see what's going on with the... Yeah, I see that all over TV. Never seen King Robert II. Yeah, it's been around for a long time. I know that Ian McLeod bought the brand in 1968 because on their website they say we bought the brand in 1968, and there's a King Robert II gin, King Robert II rum, King Robert II vodka. You know the story. You know how these things work. What were the medical reasons? Insanity. All right, thanks for watching this video production, and y'all take care now.